credit stacking journey day 4. So I'm gonna have to be very careful about what it is that I'm talking about and how I'm talking about it, because a lot of what I'm going to be talking about here is going to be, I can't get into really any specifics, but I will do more generalized information based on what it is, my conversations that I've had. So I met with the Wells Fargo MBR today and just asked some different questions about business lines of credit, what does they look for, the profile, and all that. One of the things I had heard in the past was that your credit profile really, you should be cleaning it up. That means if you have old employers on there, you want to remove the old employers and keep your current one. Old addresses, remove old addresses. Make sure your name is clearly state or correct, and there's just one version of your name, so that there's just as little confusion as possible. But the person I spoke to did not really say that that was required or needed. The main thing was the business performance. They require tax returns to show profitability for at least the last 2 years, and are going to want to see financials just to prove that you're saying it is that you, whatever it is you want to say. And when you are looking at business credit, this is just lines of credit. This isn't even credit cards. They're going to want to do some. There's just a lot of things that they're not necessarily going to give you everything that you ask for, but they will counteroffer. So one of the things is, if I request $100,000 and based on your underwriting, you can't approve me for that, are you just going to decline it? No, they'll just say, well, we can give you $75,000. But for the revolving lines of credit, which are not tied to your personal name, they will look at your personal credit profile, but this is not something that is going to affect your DTI. And that really is the goal here. So I've kind of deviated, now that I'm thinking about it out loud, from the credit cards, but the line of credit is the ultimate goal, because then it just becomes really easy. You're not having to cycle through different credit cards. So let's see, what else did I learn? Addresses are super important. So I have a Vegas address, right? But my business operates in Virginia. So how do I tie my Vegas address to me being in Virginia? Where does the business actually operate out of? But because I rent office space in Las Vegas, so that's why I can use that Vegas address as my primary address, and all my mailing and everything can go over there. Let's see what else. I think that's about it. Oh, another update. So since I met with the MBR, I received my credit card that I had applied for. Unfortunately, it is a personal card, so that completely just defeats the whole purpose. So I now have like $100,000 in 0% credit that I can't use or really use as aggressively as I want to, because now it all affects my DTI, and I don't want to mess with that. So I ended up starting the process with another company where I applied for credit cards, or the first one. It was the first one that I went to go apply for is the American Blue Business Plus. I have a relationship with American Express. I have credit cards with them, and they're all in good standing. I actually have, I know I should have gotten this number earlier, about $120,000 in credit limit. So I figured with a credit card, with a company, an LLC that has 2 years of history, almost 3 years of history of receiving deposits and all that, I would get a decent credit limit. Unfortunately, my credit limit that they gave me was $2,000. At least I was approved and super grateful, but not at all was what I was expecting. So now what I have to do is, or now what I get to do is, I get to wait about 61 days. I have to use this American Express card as aggressively as I can, paying it off multiple times a month, and then request another credit limit increase to hopefully get me to $6,000. So not exactly what I was expecting or hoping for, but again, at least I got approved. Now it's really starting to make me see the value of working with a credit stacking expert. And I may just do that once I get my houses sold. I don't know yet, but let's see what else. And then, so in 61 days, I will apply for a credit limit increase. And then by mid-August, actually, I have actual dates here. So September 13th, I can apply for a credit limit increase. And then on August 19th to August 25th, somewhere around there, they're suggesting that I go and apply for a Chase Inc. business card. But to do it in a branch, bring EIN, business bank statements, and a DL. I don't know what a DL is. Oh, driver's license. So what I'll do is I will do that. And the reason why they suggest going into the branch is because you can get higher limits, right? Higher limits. So I will do that. Yeah. Apologies, this is probably really boring and just killing the mood right now. But just want to, okay, so just go so Chase Business Inc. going to apply in branch, in a local branch to get better odds of getting higher credit limit. And then once that's done, then October 7th, I can then apply for FNBO Business Edition or Evergreen card, which is 45 days after my Chase application. Once that is done, then I can go back to Wells Fargo, probably apply in branch with my MBR at the end of October to then apply for a Wells Fargo business card. So that's going to be the stack. I'm guessing that's called a stack for one of my LLCs. And that's where I'm going to start. And we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go well, then I'll probably end up working with a credit stacking company where what I really didn't like is I just had to do all this. One of the ways is you show history with setting up net 30 accounts, meaning you set up a credit account with like a company called Quill, which is just another version of Staples. And you get stuff you probably don't need, office supplies, whatever it is, cleaning supplies. Then before that 30 days is due, or before that bill's due, you go and you pay it off. But you have to give it enough time where you're not paying it off immediately so that it reports to the credit bureau, but then you're not paying off too late where you're paying it on time. You're supposed to pay it a few days early. I think it's like 5 days early. Just wanted to avoid all that because I have these stupid cups and shirts and all these things that I just really don't need. And I'm trying to minimize the amount of just crap that comes into my house. So trying to avoid that. Doesn't look like that is avoidable at all if I look at my phases. And then also having to open up a NAV account and pay for all these things. So it's really looking like I can't really avoid those because of what it is I'm trying to do. Now, I might be able to avoid some of it because I do have seasoned entities, but in the end, I'm really going to have to open a business account, make sure I have an actual physical address, a phone number, an online presence, and to then really take that next step. So I have gone in so many different directions, but hopefully this is helpful to somebody. If you're looking into credit stacking, maybe at some point I'll be able to put this all into a nice little organized, who knows. But hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions about credit stacking, if there's anything that I can go over or talk about, reach out. But otherwise, get to it.